thing that really freaks me out is he can scratch really hard and bleed. Look at this. He's got tiny little fingernails and they're a bit dirty. And he's managed to draw blood right there. He's been drawing blood for months. I've been putting cream on, I've been treating it, you know, like an infected wound. But every time it gets better, it just scratches it again. And then it's freaking me out. I'm trying to protect it as much as I can. Yes, I'm trying to distract him by giving him this device here. Oh, it was stressful. I know, my life is full of stress. Little things like this. Well, it's not really little because he can get really infected and go to hospital and, you know, have it treated. And I can't put a band-aid on it because it just pulls it off. I tried before and it kept coming off, and the best I can do is just keep putting cream on and treating it until he gets an infection that I can't treat. Then I have to take him to the hospital, basically. I wish I could have one of those, you know, glue wound treatment things. Then I could just like stick it on and it will dry hopefully, and he won't touch it, and it will heal faster. But I don't have that here. I looked everywhere. So we've been battling eczema for a very long time, this little boy and I and our family. And during winter, he gets really spotty. So spotty. Yes, he likes the camera. It's spotty, like, you can't really see it properly, but it's really itchy, and he gets it on his legs. Right there. Don't know if you can see it. And it's so itchy, and he's like, you know, he screams all day because he doesn't get what he wants, because he's a terrible two, and he knows it. He likes drinking milk, obsessed with milk. See his face, it's so red. Yeah, it sucks. Eczema is really stressful. He's had it since he was born, and it's always been really bad. We didn't know at first how to treat it, and the doctors kept telling us to put cream on it, and we wouldn't put it on often enough or know how bad it was. And then we realized in hindsight, when we saw other babies, and then when his skin got a bit better, that it was really bad. His skin was so bad. You know, his whole body would be red and patchy and scaly, and we would, you know, because he's a newborn, we thought we couldn't put too much, you know, chemicals, or couldn't put anything on him. But we did follow the doctor's instruction and used olive oil for bath, and we just used some very simple, like, moisturizing cream. Later, we actually found out that he needed really thick ointment that would just protect his whole skin, because his skin is so dry compared to like other newborns. He needs that extra protective layer, like it's like acts like our skin, the oil that comes out of our skin that protects it. He doesn't have it apparently. So, but anyway, it was too late by then. He was about 3 months old, and we went to the doctor to check, because they told me after about 3 months, that's when you know whether he has eczema or not. So we went to the doctor, and they said it was really severe, and they gave me steroids, and I think a simple one at first, but then they gave me a really strong one. Actually, no, they gave me the strong one first because they said I needed to treat it, and we used it, and I think it helped clear him up, but we didn't know how to treat it properly. We didn't want to use too strong of a steroid, so we only used like maybe the strong one for a couple of days. A week actually. We did do it for a week. We followed the instructions from the doctor. But then after that, we're like, okay, it should be better now, so we stopped. And when you stop, things come back really fast in full force, because it's sort of a little bit like bacteria, where you kill it, and if there's a little bit left, it'll come back, and then it'll attack you again, and it's stronger because, you know, it's sort of like learnt. It's like you getting vaccinated. Your body learns from the weak strain that you received from the vaccination. So anyway, we had to get him to the doctor again and find out a treatment plan. We had to see a pediatrician and get more expert advice. We got 3 different strengths of the steroid cream. We went to see an allergy specialist. I think that's what it's called. They did his allergy test. They did a very simple one, so they only tested a few things, but they missed out on one thing because at the time he seemed okay, and that was milk. He actually is allergic or intolerant of milk, and it gives him flares as well because he couldn't take any milk formula. I had to breastfeed him, and every time I had a cup of milk he would do a diarrhea, and then his face would get red, and I didn't realize that. And you can't really know what the immediate effects are caused by. So we saw that, and we realized he was allergic to dust mites, which apparently is very common. And so, you know, their advice is to clean everything, wash everything with hot water, you know, put things in the sun. Actually, he actually said don't put it out to dry, those things that like bedding and bedding clothes, and put it in the dryer instead. So we tried to do that, but some of the things like we destroyed in the dryer and in the wash, because, you know, like mattress protectors, they actually melt in the wash when you put it on like high temperature, and, you know, we put it in double high temperature, so hot wash and hot dryer, so that just died. And it actually meant that whenever we had any kind of leakage, you know, from peeing or whatever, then it would leak through to our bed, and he would climb on our bed a lot, so that's why. Anyway, so, you know, the thing is, main thing is about eczema is that you need to treat it really quickly when it happens, when the flares happen. And sometimes we are too slow, and then it gets really bad. But when you start treating it, you have to sort of be a little bit aggressive and do it for a week. And even when it looks like it's cleared, you have to stick with it, and then you slowly lower the dosage. But you start on a low dosage first. So if you start on like a very mild steroid, then you slowly go up if it doesn't work. But if it works, then you just continue for a while, and then after it gets better, or after your duration, like a week is a good time, then you start putting on the moisturizer constantly, like just keep protecting the skin so it doesn't go back. And then obviously when he eats something that he's allergic to, or when he touches something like dust, then he will flare up again, and then you have to start the process again. So that's just a constant battle, and it's been like that for 2 years now. And apparently these things don't go away until they're in primary school or even later. Yeah, so what was I thinking? So anyway, Grandma just came, and that's why I was distracted. But I just remembered what I wanted to talk about, which was infection. It's the infection part that's most scary for me, because if it's itchy, then I can just give him cream or steroids, or just like, you know, protect his hands from scratching it, or at night time, or like give him antihistamine to stop the itching. But we don't want to do too much of that. But when it gets infected and the wound is open, then that's really annoying, because him as a toddler and a boy, he loves playing in dirt, he loves to scratch, he you know, can't stop himself. He doesn't have impulse control, and you tell him to not do it and he will do it, or, you know, he's just automatic, just does it. So like just when he woke up today, his scab was actually getting better. It was getting so much better, and then suddenly he scratched it and it was all bleeding. That's why I'm doing this video now, because, you know, I like to do things in the moment. I like to talk about things when I have something to talk about, when I'm really passionate about it. I mean, this is a topic that I wanted to talk about. I've written it down as something I wanted to talk about. It's been almost a month since he did some steroid treatment, and he's still a bit itchy on the legs. I mean, that's not really reduced too much. But his neck, however, has been much better. I mean, you can see the scar, it looks pretty bad. He still scratches it, but it's not ripping up anymore. The actual spot there has gone. It had healed, but then he started scratching the other spots. So I have to keep putting cream on still. And his face is awesome now. Hello. Hello, your face. Hello. He just scratches a little bit here. But his face is smooth. Smooth skin. And he's got one more spot right here somewhere. Where is it? There. Oh, that one looks bad. Yeah, skin condition always pretty bad. It's really dry. To constantly put moisturizer on. Yeah. Eczema is. I have to stop steroid drops soon, and then he'll go bad for another 2 months, and then we'll start again. Please support me by upvoting, commenting, I love comments, and following if you want to see more videos. Thank you.